This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, how about that? A third straight series win for your Philadelphia Phillies as they take a 4-2 victory against the Miami Marlins. And, as I was saying last night, we do the short after every show. And what I always talk about is, do what you're supposed to do against teams like this. And then there's nights where you just, you do what you're supposed to, like today, where you win 4-2. You win by 2 runs. That's good. And then there's days like game 1 of this series where you really do what you're supposed to do, which is win 9-3. And you get 4 home runs as well. Well, the Phillies got 1 big home run today, and that really helps set the tone for the fighting Phils against Sandy Alacantara, who, as we highlighted last night, has been phenomenal over his last 4 starts this season, at least 6 innings, no more than 2 runs. Most of those starts, 7 innings, 1 run, if that. He has been flat out dominant over his last handful of starts, which is more of the Sandy Alacantara we're used to seeing pitch for the Miami Marlins. But Bryce Harper being able to jump on a fastball earlier in the game did set the tone. And then Jesus Luzardo, the 4 walks, you walk 4 guys, you walk 4 Marlins especially. You don't want to give free passes to any baseball team, but you certainly don't want to do it against the Marlins where it could come back and bite you. And Jesus Luzardo made sure that it did not come back and bite him in the old behind. Same thing with this bullpen when they came in to take over for 3 innings, only allowing 1 hit, not issuing a walk, not allowing a run, 3 strikeouts for the pen. That was fantastic to see the way that played out for the fighting Phils tonight. So all in all, loved what I saw from the Phillies in this victory. Let's get into it.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Luzardo, Bryce Harper, you had a couple of guys with multi-hit nights, which is pretty nice to see. Brandon Marsh, 2 hits, and Mundo Sosa, 2 hits, including beating out an infield single. That's hustled down the first baseline. But if I got to go with one guy, I'm going to go with the guy that is the 2-time MVP, and I'm going to go with Bryce Harper tonight. Now, it was his only hit of the ball game, but it was the biggest hit of the ball game, getting 2 runs across the plate. Great to see that from him, to be able to do that tonight. And like I said, this was a tone setter. You don't come up with that kind of big hit against Sandy Alacantara, then all of a sudden it's in your head the rest of the day as to what the Marlins could do to you as the game goes on. Now, the Phillies, they had an absolutely great 4th inning tonight where they were able to tack on a couple of more runs. They had an opportunity to really blow the game open, but they couldn't get that next big hit like Bryce Harper got for you in that first inning. So Harper, I'm going to go with the guy that only that drove in the first 2 runs as the player of the game. One of the things that I loved seeing tonight from the arms on this staff, Jesus Luzardo most notably, again, 5 hits, 4 walks you don't like. The 8 strikeouts was great. That's how he got out of jams, 100 pitches, striking out the side. And for the longest time, I believe it was the first 5 innings. The 6th inning, his final inning where he got up to 100 pitches. That's where he started to struggle a little bit, but still got out of it. He relied on being able to get those punch outs at the plate in order to get out of those jams. The velocity on the fastball was up there, and he has been very solid for the Phillies to the point where I am not that concerned anymore. Look, any pitcher can have a blow-up inning. Any pitcher can have a blow-up game. Any pitcher can have a terrible start. I did not see that. I don't see that in the very near future for Jesus Luzardo and what you've been able to see from him as of late. You're talking about his last handful of starts really going into this start today, and you're talking about a guy that is reliable. 13 wins now in the season as he improves to 13-6 on the year and lowers the ERA now. It was about 4.05 coming in tonight. He gets to 4.01. He so deserves having the opportunity to go out there and be able to have a sub-4 ERA at least for this Phillies team. Got roughed up, unfortunately, a little bit against the Mets there with 4 runs. Got roughed up a little bit against the Washington Nationals with 3 runs. But other than that, also a guy that you just have been able to rely on time and time again for this Phillies rotation. So that's something you love to see. As far as the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Turning point for me, I could just keep on riding it when it comes to Bryce Harper and the heat there in that first inning, how big that was. But when I say set the tone for what? To win 2-0? No! The final score of this one was 4-2 in favor of your fighting Phils over the Miami Marlins. The fourth inning, I'm going to go with Brandon Marsh. One of his 2 doubles today, gets the 20 doubles. He's 5 away from matching his career high for doubles in a season. Set the 25 double mark 3 seasons ago, I want to say it was. So he gets the double to lead off the fourth inning. Bader brings him in with an RBI single. It's now a 4-1 game. It's a 3-0 game. And then later, you get Bryson Stott stepping up there with the sac fly RBI to make it a 4-0 game for the Phillies to take that lead. Unfortunately, in the bottom of that inning, well, I should say fortunately, the Phillies got those runs at the top of the inning. Unfortunately, in the bottom of the fourth inning, that's when they got to Jesus Luzardo. Just a wee bit there in the fourth inning to get their only 2 runs of the game. That fourth inning to me was the turning point that made you feel like the Phillies were going to take home this victory. As far as what you'll be talking about,
this is what you'll be talking about.
The 3 straight series wins. Way to be, babe. Way to be. Phillies now 6.5 games with the Mets just getting underway right now. The Mets are they're in the second inning now in Cincinnati. The Mets were able to hold off the Reds to the tune of a 5-4 victory last night. So the Phillies now 6.5 games up. Mets fall to the Reds tonight. Pitching matchup is Singer versus Tong for the Metropolitans. Tong, I believe that's the rookie pitcher making his debut tonight. It is. He's got one other start under his belt, and that was against the Marlins. How about that? And that was a 5-inning, 4-run affair for him. 4 of those runs, only one of them was earned. So they got Yohan Tong going for the Mets tonight. So let's hope more of the same for Tong. Okay. Phillies come away with this victory tonight to get 6.5 games up on the Mets. You're hoping they improve to 7. And all in all, really, if there's one thing, it's not just Bryce Harper's homer. It's also Kyle Schwarber's near home run for the Phillies when he stepped up to the plate in the 8th inning there, hitting a top of the 9th inning, hitting a long fly ball to deep center field that just died at the wall. That right there, something to be kicking around tomorrow, no doubt. And one of the things that I just can't get over is going again to that bullpen and what you were able to see from the likes of David Robertson. He gave up 1 hit. That was the double, I believe, that Bader played beautifully off the wall, I might add. Matt Strahm comes in there, gets 2 of the 3 strikeouts. Then Johan Duran gets his 27th save of the season. Again, anytime you could see your starting pitcher give you a little bit better than a quality start, 2 runs, 6 innings, and then you see the bullpen take over to allow just 1 base runner the rest of the way. Yes, please, and thank you each and every time. When we come back, we'll take your comments on this game as the Phillies get the 4-2 victory and series win, 3rd straight. This one coming against the Miami Marlins to go for the sweep of the fish tomorrow. Talk about that and more when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast. And how about Zippix? You guys need to take advantage of this. This show is brought to you by Zippix Toothpicks. Whether you're looking for a nicotine satisfaction, something like that, or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings and the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. So it certainly helps you in that category. Zippix can also help. It's a helpful tool as you can work to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors from 2 mg to 3 mg nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. Every once in a while, we need a little bit of a boost right there, especially if you might be nervous trying to quit smoking or something like that. Zippix can certainly help you out with that. Go to ZippixToothpicks.com. That's ZippixToothpicks.com and use promo code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's ZippixToothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less. Zippix Toothpicks. And how about 5-Hour Energy Transfusion? Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This great ginger and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends out on the greens. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. With the wildest shot, think about it. The wildest shot you ever made. Did it come on a day where you were lagging? No, you had some energy to you, right? Maybe you got that last-minute call to be the fourth in the foursome. Oh, yeah, I'll be right there. Glug, glug, take that back with the transfusion, 5-hour energy, and you're well on your way. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the United States of America. Tee up this trip. Visit FIVE-HE win.com for rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Before we get into the chat check, interesting lineup today for the Phillies, by the way. Interesting lineup today for the Phillies. If you look at this lineup one more time, okay? Look at this lineup one more time. The Phillies went, or I should say Rob Thompson today in particular. Schwarber, Bohm, Harper, Real Muto, Marsh, Bader, Kepler, Sosa, Stott. Interesting. Now, why is that interesting? Lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, all the way down. How about that? This isn't something we're used to seeing from the Phillies. And I forget who it was just last night who said, yeah, I could really use a lefty to break up the righties. Or excuse me, I could really use a righty to break up the lefties in Schwarber and Harper. Now, Trey Turner got the day off. So let's say, let's hope tomorrow he's still smoking, okay? It would be pretty fantastic to see that guy stay red hot at the plate, right? Somebody made the suggestion last night, hey, you kind of like to see that broken up with the righty. Well, today they alternated lefties and righties throughout the lineup with Trey Turner getting the night off. Maybe a taste of things to come. I don't know. One more thing before I get to the chat check here that I want to comment on. I made reference to it, of course, last night with what went on in the left field stands in Miami with that ball being taken away from that young fan. I commended, because we knew at the time what the Marlins had done, which was give a nice little gift basket to that young fan. I want to commend the Phillies as well, as if not to be outdone, they arranged for that young fan, the father, the family, to come down and meet and get an autograph from Harrison Bader. How awesome is that? Bader came out, met the young man, signed a bat for him. I think the young gentleman's name is Lincoln. And he just said, Lincoln, go Phils, Harrison Bader. How awesome is that? This is taking on a life of its own. I have seen it everywhere, from TMZ to People magazine putting it out there, or people.com. I don't know what it even is now. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. The fact that not that a Phillies fan got highlighted in this way, but that a Phillies community rallied around another young Phillies fan in that way. That right there is the part that is awesome. But just in case somebody else needs this public service announcement, yes, if a home run, a foul ball is hit towards you and you don't catch it and you drop it on the ground, guess what? In the fan world, that is still in play to every other fan. You don't claim it. That goes to whoever corrals it and keeps it. In this case, it should have stayed with the fan. But now, knowing what we know now, hey, I'm glad she took it, because this kid got the experience of a lifetime. Something, I don't know, about 1 billion times better than just getting a ball. Got a bat, gift basket. Also, how about this? Little fame. You love to see it. All right, let's get into this now when it comes to the chat check here on Locked On Phillies Postcast. Let's see. I missed the whole Kepler thing. Is there no leadership in that locker room that he had to step up for the outfielder? I had the same thought. Actually, you know what? Not to take a negative out of something that I see as so positive, but not take a negative out of it. I had the same thought. Why is Kepler the new guy, even though there's Bader is the newer guy, but you got Marsh, you got Castellanos. Why is Kepler the guy calling the meeting? Like, maybe because it's September and he feels like he is tenured enough here in Philadelphia. I don't know. But I was like, I don't look at Castellanos as a guy that's going to be like, hey, guys, team meeting, let's go. I see Castellanos as being a supportive teammate. Yeah, he might have a little sour grapes about not being an everyday player anymore, but you don't like it? It's the same thing I said about Max Kepler in the beginning of the year. You don't like platooning? Play better. You know why you're not platooning? You're not good enough. That's why. Very simple. So I did find it interesting, but I still overall look at it as a positive for Kepler to get everybody together and look and just say, hey, look, guys, we're trying to win. That's all we're trying to do is try to win. Also, I love what Max Kepler had to say after the game last night about Harrison Bader, about how when Bader was playing on other teams, he couldn't stand his energy. And now that he's on my team, I'm like, I love that guy. I share the sentiment, by the way. When he was on the Mets, I was like, this dude. Morgan Landy professional win by the Phillies. Can we sweep tomorrow with the nice momentum going in the Mets series? I hope so. Joseph Grillo, Jesus refused to Luzardo, leading the club to wins. I love it. Ken, nice win. 13 for Jesus Luzardo. Another great start of hitting by the outfield. Strom and Duran locked it down. Nice 1-2-3 innings sweep tomorrow. Let's break out the brooms in Miami. Mets could lose tonight. We need to bury them. I agree, Jess Patrick. Mark C., hello. If only Nola could get it together now, right? David, what's up? Third straight series win. Mets who? Let's just hope the Mets lose tonight. I'm a big fan of the Phillies winning games. Little G. Griffin, I agree. Eddie Borges, hello. Or Borges. Yeah, thank God almighty they are hot, my team. Let's go Philly. Yeah, boy, there you go. Jordan, what's going on? Jeremy, hello. Currently having an Archbishop Wood reunion at the house. Keep winning, boys. What? Who's there? If it's anyone that gets this phrase, applause, blackout. You're welcome. I was also thinking about building a ramp out in front of my desk just to go into the audience a little bit more, maybe a crescendo. All right. Bandman 100. That's funny to like three people. Okay. Bandman 100. I've got a feeling Kyle is going to break out of his slump soon. That home run makes you feel good. Also, can we stop throwing at Kyle Schwarber? 2 hit by pitches in this game. Come on, Miami. Do you want to rumble? Do you want to rumble, Miami? I think you want to rumble. First one, I think, was a curveball, like off his foot. Second one was a 93-mile-per-hour sinker at his face. Don't like that. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. All right, here's what we got. Oh boy. Okay. Right now, the New York Mets are trailing the Cincinnati Reds 2-0 in the bottom of the second inning. That's the way that went down. What's that dude's name? Is it Sal Stewart? That's what it is. Sal Stewart came up with a 2-run home run. Not bad for the 21-year-old. 2-run home run for him. So the Mets are trailing the Cincinnati Reds 2-0 in the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs. Let's keep that going. As for your fighting Phils, here's what you got going on tomorrow afternoon. 1:40 start time. Phillies go for their 4th win in a row. Taijuan Walker gets the start. And as of right now, it says that the Marlins have yet to name a starter, but Phillies will go for win number 84 tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to Locked On Phillies. That's like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. You got me covering your Phillies for each and every postcast. You got Connor Thomas for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.